Have you ever heard that a simple golden-colored US dollar coin could make you a millionaire overnight? Yes, you heard that right. There are stories, whispers, and viral posts claiming that one special 2000 Sacagawea dollar could be worth a fortune, even up to $1 million. But, is it true? Could that shiny coin sitting in your drawer or hidden in a jar really be worth life-changing money? Or is it just another internet myth that's fooled millions of people? Well, in this video, we're going to uncover the truth behind the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, the coin that shook the coin-collecting world when it was first released. We'll talk about its history, its unique design, the rare errors that made some versions insanely valuable, and yes, we'll reveal the real worth of this coin that might just surprise you. So don't skip a second, because what you'll discover at the end might completely change the way you look at this golden dollar. Now, picture this. The year is 2000. The United States Mint introduces a brand new $1 coin unlike any before it. It glows with a soft golden color, it feels different in your hand, and it features not a president, but a Native American woman cradling her baby. That woman is Sacagawea, a hero of the American frontier, a symbol of courage and exploration. Collectors, the public, and even the media went wild. People rushed to banks to grab rolls of these coins, believing they might become rare treasures someday. Some even stored them untouched, wrapped, hoping their value would skyrocket. And little did anyone know, some versions of this very coin would become extremely valuable, but for very unusual reasons. There's one particular type of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, a version that wasn't just worth a few dollars or even a few hundred, but thousands, and in some cases, nearly unbelievable amounts. But here's where the real mystery begins, because the difference between a common coin and a valuable one is hidden in the smallest details. It's in the minting errors, the limited editions, and the unexpected pairings that happen behind the scenes at the US Mint. As we move forward, I'll tell you how this coin came to be, why it was created, how it replaced a previous dollar coin that failed miserably, and how this seemingly ordinary coin gained an almost legendary status among collectors. So, stay with me till the end of this video, because before you jump to conclusions about the million-dollar rumors, you need to see how a coin like this went from being pocket change to a collector's dream. And when we finally reveal the truth, you might be shocked by what this coin can really be worth today. The story begins in the late 1990s, when the US Mint made a bold decision to bring back the dollar coin, but this time with a powerful new face. To truly understand the mystery of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, and why some people believe it could be worth $1 million, we have to go back to the late 1990s, a time when the US Mint faced a problem that needed solving. The US had already tried to bring back the dollar coin before. You might remember the Susan B. Anthony dollar, introduced in 1979. It was a bold idea, featuring a strong female figure for the first time in US coinage history. But there was one major issue: it looked and felt too much like a quarter. People kept confusing it with 25-cent coins, and within just a few years, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was practically gone from circulation. The US Mint needed something different, something that would stand out, a dollar coin that looked valuable, felt unique, and represented the spirit of America in a powerful way. So, in 1997, Congress passed the United States $1 Coin Act, ordering the creation of a new dollar coin. It had to be easy to recognize, visually stunning, and distinct from all other coins in use. The material chosen was a manganese brass-clad composition, giving it a warm, golden color that made it instantly recognizable. Now came the question that would define the coin forever: who would appear on it? The Mint wanted a face that represented the nation's story, someone who embodied courage, discovery, and diversity. That's when the idea of Sacagawea emerged, the young Shoshone woman who played a vital role in the Lewis and Clark expedition over 200 years ago. Sacagawea wasn't a soldier, not a president, not a politician, but she was a symbol of guidance, resilience, and peace. She carried her baby on her back through uncharted wilderness, helping the explorers navigate lands that no American had ever seen before. Her image captured the very idea of exploration and trust. The US Mint wanted to celebrate that legacy. So, artist Glenna Goodacker was chosen to design the obverse, the front side of the coin. She portrayed Sacagawea with her infant son Jean-Baptiste on her back, glancing over her shoulder with quiet determination. To make sure the image was authentic and respectful, Goodacker didn't copy an old painting or sculpture. Instead, she found a living model, a young Native American woman from Idaho, who helped her bring Sacagawea's spirit to life in the design. The reverse, designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., features a soaring bald eagle, wings spread wide, a powerful symbol of American freedom and strength. Surrounding it are 17 stars, representing the 17 states that made up the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. When the coin was finally introduced in 2000, it was more than just money. It was a work of art, a tribute to history, and a message of cultural respect. It glimmered with a golden hue that no other U.S. coin had. But not everyone expected what would happen next. The U.S. Mint printed hundreds of millions of these coins. They wanted it to replace the paper dollar. Ads were launched, campaigns rolled out, and even big stores like Walmart joined to promote it. But once again, something unexpected happened. People loved the look of the coin, but they didn't want to spend it. They kept it. They saved it. They collected it. And this, my friend, is where the seeds of mystery and value began to grow. Because among those millions of coins, a few were different. A few had secrets. A few were struck with tiny, rare mistakes that would later make them worth thousands of dollars. And there's one version that became almost mythical, a coin given away in a box of cereal that would become one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever made. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll explore the design in detail, every symbol, every texture, every secret message hidden within this coin's golden surface. And then, we'll get to the heart of why some of these coins are valued beyond imagination. Take a closer look at this coin, the 2000 Sacagawea Dollar. At first glance, it might just look like a shiny, golden piece of metal, but look again. Every curve, every line, every detail tells a story. Let's start with the front, the obverse, as collectors call it. You'll see Sacagawea, her face calm yet full of strength, carrying her baby, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, gently secured on her back. She's not staring straight at you, she's glancing over her shoulder, as if looking toward the future. That gaze isn't just artistic. It's symbolic. It represents guidance, hope, and the vision of exploration, a tribute to how Sacagawea led the Lewis and Clark expedition through lands no American had ever seen. She didn't do it for fame or power. She did it for trust, survival, and discovery. Below her chin, you'll see the familiar words, "In God we trust." Above her, the word "Liberty" arcs across the top of the coin, simple, powerful, and unmistakable. To the right, you'll find the date 2000, the year the coin made its debut, and just beside it, a tiny mint mark, either P for Philadelphia or D for Denver, telling you where that specific coin was struck. But here's where it gets fascinating. The model for Sacagawea wasn't taken from a painting or sculpture. She was inspired by a real modern Native American woman, chosen to honor authenticity. The artist, Glenna Goodacker, wanted to make sure Sacagawea looked like a real person, strong, graceful, and human, not a statue from history books. Now turn the coin over to the reverse side. Here, you'll find the majestic bald eagle in flight, its wings stretched wide, soaring above the words, United States of America. Beneath the eagle are the Latin words E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, a message about unity, about how different people come together to form one nation. Below that, you'll find $1, marking its denomination. Surrounding the eagle are 17 stars, one for each state that made up the United States in the early 1800s, during the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. When you hold this coin in your hand, you're holding a piece of art, a piece of history, and a piece of symbolism all at once. The golden tone, though not real gold, gives it an air of value and elegance, a glow that made people feel like they were holding something precious. The design was meant to make this coin stand out, to make Americans proud to use it. And for a time, it worked. It was fresh, beautiful, and different. But what no one realized back then was that hidden among the millions of perfectly normal coins were a few that weren't normal at all. Tiny mistakes during minting, small differences in texture or detail, unusual pairings of dies, all of these would lead to certain versions of this coin becoming worth thousands of dollars. And then, there was one version that almost seemed like a legend, a Sacagawea dollar that made its way into a box of Cheerios cereal and would later be valued a fortune. That's right, a breakfast cereal giveaway became one of the most valuable modern coin stories in American history. But how did that happen? How did a coin given away for free become one of the rarest coins collectors dream about owning? And could your Sacagawea dollar be one of those rare treasures? Stay right here, because in the next part, we'll uncover the error coins, the rare varieties, and exactly how much each of them can be worth today, from a few dollars to thousands, and maybe even more. The deeper we go, the more shocking the truth becomes. Now that you know the story and the design of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, it's time to step into the part collectors love most, the hunt for rare varieties, minting errors, and hidden treasures that could be sitting right under your nose. This is where things get exciting, because not all 2000 Sacagawea dollars are created equal. Some are worth $1, just like they say, but a few rare ones, they can fetch hundreds, thousands, and even more depending on their condition and unique mistakes. So let's break it all down, piece by piece, starting from the ordinary, then moving up to the extraordinary. Let's begin with the regular circulation strikes, the ones most people have. If your coin has a small P mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, and if it has a D, it came from Denver. These are the most common. Over 1.4 billion Sacagawea dollars were made in the year 2000. Yes, billions. So, the majority of these coins are only worth $1 in circulation, and maybe $2 to $5 if in uncirculated condition. But, and this is a big but, condition is everything. A 2000p or 2000d Sacagawea dollar in MS65 condition, which means near perfect, can sell for $10 to $25, while those graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can bring $100 to $300. And if you're lucky enough to have one in a perfect MS68 or MS69, the kind of flawless example that looks like it was struck yesterday, those can cross $500 to $1,000 or more, depending on the collector's demand. But that's just the beginning, because the real magic starts when we talk about errors and special issues. Let's talk about one of the most famous, the 2000 Cheerios dollar. Back in late 1999 and early 2000, General Mills partnered with the U.S. Mint to promote the new coin. Around 5,500 boxes of Cheerios cereal contained a 2000 dated Sacagawea dollar sealed in plastic. But here's the twist, those coins weren't ordinary. The Mint used an early prototype reverse design that had extra detail on the eagle's tail feathers, sharper lines, deeper grooves, and a more detailed feather pattern. At first glance, they look just like the regular ones, but under magnification, the difference is clear. That small design detail turned those Cheerios dollars into one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever made. Originally given away for free, these coins can now sell for $3,000 to $5,000, and some pristine, graded examples have sold for over $10,000 at major auctions. Imagine, a coin from a cereal box worth more than a used car. But the surprises don't stop there. There's also a mysterious variety known as the wounded eagle error. This one is fascinating. It looks like the eagle on the reverse has a wound across its body. What actually happened was that a small die gouge, a scratch or raised line on the die used to strike the coin, created a mark that runs diagonally through the eagle's belly. It almost looks like the bird was struck or scratched. Because it's such a distinct and accidental mark, collectors love it. And depending on condition, a 2000p Wounded Eagle Sacagawea dollar can sell anywhere from $250 to $1,000, with exceptional examples graded MS67 reaching even higher. Then there are the transitional and mule errors, the legends of the Sacagawea series. Now, listen carefully, because this is where things get unbelievable. In 2000, a small number of Sacagawea dollars were accidentally struck using the reverse of the Washington State Quarter instead of the normal eagle reverse. That's right, the front shows Sacagawea, but the back has a Washington Quarter reverse. This type of error is called a mule error, and it's one of the rarest mistakes ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Only about 11 confirmed examples of the 2000p Sacagawea/quarter mule are known to exist. Collectors and experts consider it one of the most significant modern coin errors in history. And the price? Brace yourself. One of these mule errors sold at auction for over $190,000, and today they are estimated to be worth between $150,000 and $250,000 depending on condition. Yes, you heard that right, a 2000 Sacagawea dollar that could be worth $250,000. And that's where the million-dollar coin rumors began. Because stories of this error coin spread like wildfire, and soon, people began to believe any Sacagawea dollar could be a hidden fortune. Now let's not forget about die cracks, off-center strikes, and planchet errors, the smaller but still valuable mistakes. A die crack, a raised line or vein-like mark from a cracked die, can add $10 to $50 in value depending on visibility. A major off-center strike, where part of the design is missing, can go for $100 to $300, especially if it shows both the date and the mint mark. A clipped planchet, where a piece of the metal is missing from the edge, can bring $50 to $150. Each of these errors adds a layer of uniqueness, and the more dramatic the mistake, the more collectors are willing to pay. So let's summarize what you could be holding. Common 2000 P or D coin, $1 to $5. High-grade uncirculated, MS67 plus $100 to $500 plus. 2000 Cheerios dollar, $3,000 to $10,000 plus. 2000 P Wounded Eagle error, $250 to $1,000 plus. 2000 Sacagawea / Quarter Mule error, $150,000 to $250,000 plus. Now you can see why this coin has become legendary, why people whisper about the $1 million coin, why collectors still check every $2,000 they find, hoping to stumble upon that one miraculous piece. But here's the big question: are all those viral stories true? Can this coin really make you a millionaire? Well, the truth might shock you, and that's exactly what we'll uncover next. Because while some versions are worth incredible amounts, not every golden dollar is a golden ticket. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we reveal the truth behind the $1 million rumors, the facts, the myths, and the reality of what your 2000 Sacagawea dollar is really worth. For years, stories have swirled around the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, stories that sound almost too good to be true. You've seen the headlines, the viral posts, and the YouTube videos claiming that this ordinary-looking golden dollar could be worth $1 million. But where did those stories come from? And more importantly, are they true? Let's dive deep, because the truth is both fascinating and a little surprising. It all started in the early 2000s, not long after the coin was released. Collectors began noticing strange variations, coins that looked slightly different, coins with sharper details, or unusual marks. Then came the discovery of the Cheerios dollar, and suddenly the Sacagawea dollar was all over the news. A coin given away in cereal boxes was now selling for thousands of dollars, and that's where the rumors began. The story spread fast, a golden dollar worth thousands. And as it does on the internet, facts started twisting, numbers started inflating, and before long, people began saying things like, some Sacagawea dollars are worth $1 million. The truth, however, is a bit more grounded, but still incredible. There is no confirmed Sacagawea dollar that has ever sold for a full $1 million. But, and this is what keeps the mystery alive, some have come very close. Let's rewind a bit to the most extraordinary error of all, the mule error coin. Remember that strange mistake, where the front of the coin shows Sacagawea, but the back shows the Washington quarter reverse design? That was no myth. That was a real, accidental minting error, and only about 11 confirmed pieces exist. When one of these appeared at auction, collectors went wild. It sold for nearly $200,000, breaking records and capturing global attention. Suddenly, everyone thought, if one can sell for $200,000, maybe there's another version worth even more. This spark of truth, mixed with a storm of internet excitement, evolved into the $1 million myth. People began checking their pockets, searching through change jars, posting photos online asking, "Is my Sacagawea dollar the $1 million one?" Most of them, of course, were regular coins, beautiful, historic, but still worth $1. Yet every so often, someone would find a small error, a strange variation, or a unique die mark, and the legend would grow stronger. Let's talk honestly. There are rare Sacagawea dollars that can be worth thousands, and yes, a few worth hundreds of thousands. But when you hear $1 million Sacagawea dollar, what people are really talking about is a hypothetical or potential future price, not a confirmed sale. The $1 million label comes from hype, rarity speculation, and collector imagination, not from a documented transaction. However, here's where it gets interesting again. Some numismatic experts believe that if another mule error coin, one in pristine, flawless MS69 or MS70 condition, ever appears, it could very well approach or even surpass $1 million at auction.
Why?
Because of demand, rarity, and history. Think about it. Only a handful exist, all with one of the most famous minting mistakes in modern history. Add the public fascination with the golden dollar and the myth surrounding it, and you have the perfect storm for a record-breaking sale. So while no Sacagawea dollar has officially hit the million mark yet, experts agree it's possible. But that's not the only reason this coin is special. Collectors often value coins not only for what they're worth in dollars but for what they represent: a piece of history, a symbol of courage, and a reflection of America's changing story. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar is the first U.S. coin to feature a Native American woman as the main portrait. That alone makes it historically significant. It's also the first dollar coin made for widespread public use in decades, after the failure of the Susan B. Anthony coin. Even though it didn't succeed as everyday money, it succeeded as an icon, a bridge between past and present, art and commerce. And here's a fascinating twist: this coin never truly disappeared. While many people think the Sacagawea dollar was discontinued, it continued to be minted for collectors and special sets. Later versions, starting from 2009, even featured new reverse designs each year to honor different Native American achievements. So, if you find one from 2000, you're holding the original, the first year of issue, and that alone makes it special, especially in mint condition or with errors. Let's revisit the value ladder for clarity. Ordinary 2000 P or 2000 D in circulation, $1. Uncirculated condition, $2 to $5. MS65, MS67 grades, $20 to $200. MS68 or above, $500 to $1,000 plus. Cheerios dollar, $3,000 to $10,000 plus. Wounded Eagle error, $250 to $1,000 plus. Major Mule error, $150,000 to $250,000 plus. Now, let's say another unknown mule error appeared tomorrow, one perfectly preserved, untouched, graded MS70 by PCGS. Could that be the million-dollar coin everyone's been dreaming about? Maybe. Because with ultra-rare coins, it's not just about what they're made of, it's about story, rarity, and emotion. Collectors pay huge sums not only for gold or silver, but for the story behind the coin. And this one has it all: history, art, mystery, and myth. So, the million-dollar Sacagawea dollar? It's not just a rumor, it's a dream that's almost real. It reminds us that sometimes, the smallest things, something as simple as a coin, can hold an incredible story. A coin that once sat in cereal boxes, circulated through gas stations, and jingled in pockets across America, is now a legendary collector's treasure. And maybe, just maybe, someone out there still holds one of those rarest versions without even knowing it. But before we finish, we still have one more important piece of this story: the final truth. In our last part, we'll bring everything together: the myths, the facts, the passion, and the reality, to reveal what this coin truly represents, and why it continues to fascinate people all over the world more than 2 decades later. Because sometimes, the value of a coin isn't just in dollars, it's in the story it tells, and the wonder it leaves behind. So here we are, at the end of our journey, a journey that began with whispers of a million-dollar coin, and led us through history, design, errors, myths, and truth. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar, a small piece of metal that sparked big dreams. People once lined up at banks just to hold one. Kids pulled them from cereal boxes without realizing they were touching history. Collectors today still shine flashlights over every tiny detail, hoping to see that special glimmer, that hint that theirs might be the one. But now, after everything we've uncovered, the question remains: what's the real value of this coin? Let's be honest. Most 2000 Sacagawea dollars are still just worth their face value, $1. They're beautiful, historic, but common. Yet the magic lies not in the number, but in the possibility. Because tucked among those billions, a handful of coins, the Cheerios dollar, the Wounded Eagle, the Mule error, broke every rule and rewrote modern coin history. Those few rare pieces proved that a coin's worth isn't fixed by its denomination. It's defined by its story, rarity, and the passion of those who seek it. A small flaw, a hidden design, a one-in-a-million mistake, and suddenly, an everyday coin becomes a treasure worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands. That's the thrill of collecting. That's the mystery that keeps people searching. And who knows? Maybe, somewhere right now, sitting in an old coffee can, a forgotten drawer, or a dusty jar of change, there's another mule error waiting to be discovered. Maybe the next record-breaking sale, the one that finally crosses that mythical million-dollar mark, hasn't happened yet because the coin is still out there, waiting for someone like you to find it. Imagine holding it in your hand, That flash of gold, that faint hum of history, that instant where you realize this tiny piece of metal has traveled decades to reach you. Would you sell it? Or would you keep it, a reminder that luck, history, and curiosity can all fit in the palm of your hand? Because that's the real magic of the Sacagawea dollar. It's not just about money. It's about a story of courage, of Sacagawea herself, guiding explorers through the unknown. It's about creativity, artists and engravers bringing her legacy to life in gold. It's about discovery, people across generations searching for something rare and finding inspiration instead. So, yes, this coin may or may not make you a millionaire. But it will make you part of a story, one that connects the past to the present, one that reminds us how a simple coin can carry centuries of meaning, art, and wonder. And if you ever stumble across a 2000 Sacagawea dollar, take a moment to look at it closely. Run your fingers over the raised edge, tilt it toward the light, and remember that every coin has a secret, and sometimes, that secret changes everything. So keep searching. Keep looking. Because sometimes, the next great treasure isn't buried deep underground. It's sitting quietly in your change jar, waiting for you to notice it. This has been the story, and the mystery, of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar coin. A coin that started with a dream, sparked a legend, and continues to inspire collectors, historians, and dreamers around the world. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest discoveries lead to the biggest surprises.